I think our generation maybe is one of the first to deal with this dilemma. Well, we're not the first ones to deal with it, but we have it in a different way because of social media. I think people in previous generations, they chose a path, they stuck with that path, whether it was a relationship or whether it was a career or whatever. And then you kind of lived your life in this corner of the world, where now with social media, for better or for worse, we see all the different things going on. And of course, we see the highlight reel. We don't see the real things all the time, right? I try to keep it real, but not everybody does. But now you can have and maintain your multiple passions, right? You can have multiple businesses, or let's say you have one primary career, but then you have a hobby and you play in a band on the weekends, or you're a gamer, or you have a, maybe you're an influencer and you have a beauty TikTok or whatever for the ladies. There's options now.
Absolutely.
And I think for some of us who grew up with parents who were hardworking, maybe they're immigrants, they were just happy to get here and to pay the bills. They
Yeah.
didn't have time or resources. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have
Yeah.
the ability to keep hobbies going. And so they worked hard, they partied hard, and they went to church, and that was it. And now
Yeah.
we're like, oh, shoot,
Yeah.
we have all these things, and we're juggling all these things. And so I don't have it all figured
100%.
out, but
No.
what I won't do is I won't shame anyone for having multiple interests or wanting to, moonlight as a podcaster or a performer, or, have a hobby or a little knitting group or whatever you're into. It's possible now. You just have to really manage your time. And for those of us that grew up in the 80s and 90s with those parents that grew up in the 60s and 70s, it's like 50s,
Yeah.
that didn't get to have the same hobbies or passions as adults, and probably resented it. And
Yeah.
now we're trying to, in some ways, not only as adults but also like still live out some of our childhood, because we had to grow up and give it up and to pay the bills and raise a family like you have, but you still love music. Maybe you're not going to be playing festivals anymore, but you still love music. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm starting to play again, and I kind of retired out of being a promoter and a manager and all that, and I'm like, I'm just going to be a musician, and I'm not even going to, yeah, I'm just going to play gigs here and there, and I'm going to have a good time, and that's it. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So
No, that's what's up,
last
man.
message, and leave us with this. What would you say, based on what I just said, what kind of is your version of that? And I'm proud of you for doing all the different things
Yeah, I
and
appreciate it.
sharing your journey. And I'm excited to see what you do next. But what would you say based on what I just said?
No, I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of this